Hi, and welcome to Chelsi Shikongo Talks. Today, I continue to talk to women in entertainment and the arts who are making a difference and getting noticed. I'm Chelsi Shikongo, and my guests today are Hillary Shiimi and Cherlien Schott. Cherlien Schott is a film producer and worked on the film Katutura in 2014. She is married to Cherlien Schott, who produced and directed the film. She was a production manager on Bajo and the Giants, a film that premiered on Netflix about rhino poaching. And Hillary Shiimi, who is a film director, creative director, choreographer, and professional dancer. She has produced the choreography for a range of events, plus music videos for Top Cherry, Yemi Alade, and King Tidi. In 2018, she set up a company called Amenave Entertainment that specializes in event organizing, choreography, and filmmaking. Welcome, ladies. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very excited because we have a lot to talk about, apparently. Cherlien and Hillary, when I was researching the both of you for this show, I could find very little about you on the internet. All of it was work-related, very little about your private lives. Do you like it that way?
Yeah. I think it's really just important to, structure yourself as a woman in entertainment and a woman in business that, when you give out to social media, you just don't give out all of it and just keep a private life. So, and it also shows some respect to it, especially when we're fighting to get noticed and get recognized. So I think it helps me a lot in business and when I'm going out there so that people just see the business aspects of things. Yeah.
I mean, for me personally, I just choose to live differently because, every day of my life, like, as soon as I step out of the house, I'm either, like, someone's wife or I am someone's older sister or I have to always have this persona where you always have to be, but, like, there's one part at least where I can be myself without having to actually show people the side of me where I just like being myself. So I like literally just keeping that separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Cherlien, you did not want to come on the show, but like, what made you change your mind?
No, I just thought it's like time. Like Girly and my husband also did say, I think it's time. Like at some point, people need to know what you do because I'm always at the back. Like literally, people actually for a long time did not know that I actually produce films or that I co-own the company with my husband because I was just literally I was okay with being at the back because I just don't like being in the front. I don't like the spotlight. I don't like, I'm really getting forced being at festivals and every time having to dress up and you have to like look a certain way and you're just like, okay, if I choose, at least I can choose not to be in front of camera.
Okay. Hillary, dance seems to be a huge part of your life. Was that always a passion for you?
Yes, definitely. When you want to start something, you always want to do it with passion. And I started dancing at a very, very young age. And I was self-taught. It's been like 15 years of dancing. And it moved me from dancing to choreographing. And, it just broadens everything up. So it's really such a huge passion for me.
Amazing. Cherlien, you didn't start your career in film. You graduated in travel and tourism. How did you get into production of films?
So basically, my mom was a chef. So she worked at a catering company that basically catered for film sets. Nice. So I had to, I asked my mom for like a job or her boss so I can start like paying off my studies because, a lot of us, when you have a single mother, like of course she can't pay for everything. So I literally started working on film sets or for the catering company to actually pay for my studies. Wow. And that's how I actually fell in love with film, and then of course I also met my husband through that.
Wow. Beautiful. One of the lucky ones. Yeah. Cherlien, you are a trained singer too. Where did you train?
So I did classical music with Ernst van Biljon at the College of the Arts in town. So that was, I think I was in the 11th grade? No. It was primary school because I remember being in the children's national choir of Namibia. Wow. So I started like from a very young age and then literally got into like the national choir of Namibia where we represented Namibia at World Choir Games, which is almost like the Olympics for singing.
For singing.
And you're like over 500 choirs, and so I would represent Namibia like every second year for for that. Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing. Wow. Okay. Okay, Cherlien. Thank you for representing Namibia. Like I feel so proud to just be in your presence. Cherlien and Hillary, you are both big supporters of the LGBTQ community in Namibia. Hillary, you've been involved in the Pride Festival for a long time. It seems to be gaining more traction in Namibia. Like, can you tell us about the Pride PopUp Festival and what has it done like for Namibian queer people?
All right. So I think for the past years, especially like there was a huge gap from 2015 up until now in 2018, where Pride festivities were really just very quiet, and the community was just not engaging too. So when I founded Pride Pop-Up Expo and live music concert in 2020, it was just a thing of, you know what, let's create these safe spaces.
Yeah.
Let's create these safe spaces for the community. And it was just a get-go to say, let's do this. And this is what the community needed. This is what the community needed. And especially when it comes to creatives and musicians and singers, because this is for them. I'm targeting the entrepreneurship aspects of the LGBTQ community.
Yes.
Because a lot of these artists, a lot of these dancers, a lot of these musicians, they don't have spaces for where they could actually perform, where they could actually say, hey, I do jewelry, or hey, this is my style. So this is actually a platform to say, we are in support, this is safe spaces. So we want to really just bridge the gap between, access to health facilities, access to entertainment, and just bring all these together, because we all need the safe spaces. We all need to feel like we're welcome. So I think it has grown tremendously to a point where the community per se, and Namibia as a whole is really being in support. We have musicians that are coming on board and saying, hey, look, I'm heterosexual, but hey, let's do this, let's do this. I'm in support. And a lot of airlines, like Lisa Airlines, for example, has been really being part of the change is really, what's important. And Pride Pop-Up is just for the community. It doesn't have a brand ambassador. It doesn't have a face. It's just for the LGBTQ plus allies. So I think these spaces, it's going to grow, because it's what we want. We want Pride Pop-Up to grow. We want it to be a national platform and not just event-based, but we want to push it out there and say, this is a safe space. And it happens. People ask us a lot, like, why don't you just do it in June or end of the year? Why is Pride every day? The reason why we celebrate Pride every day or once in a month is because every day there is a child out there that is being kicked out of the house. Every day there is a colleague at work that is, being stigmatized and discriminated. So this is why we celebrate Pride every day. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Do you, Hillary, do you ever see the law changing regarding gay rights in this country?
Well, the fight is continuing, and I think with this new generation we are unapologetic. We are fighting, and I see that it is going to change. And it's going to take us a long time. But we are getting there.
It has to change.
It has to change. Do you feel that the gay community will be fully accepted here as it is in other parts of the world? Like fully?
Well, I think acceptance starts as an individual. And many times where we find that, especially with the community, they're like, with or without your rights and everything, we'll still choose who to love. We will still continue loving. We'll have to go to South Africa to get married, but we are still the Namibian child. So I think it starts with, as you as an individual self, that what is it that you want? Do you want change? Then make this change. And if you don't want this change, then these people did not do anything to you. So let people be and let people love who they want to love. So I think, like I said, it's going to take a very, very long time, but I think it starts with just an individual self, the decision that you make. as an individual self. And I feel like with the community being really in solidarity with different organizations coming together and really pushing for the past 2 years, for like Drag Night Namibia, you know, and Pride Pop-Up, it's really been a whole thing that we are here and we are queer.
We're here and we are queer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Have you gotten any pushback, or like have you faced any challenges with the Pride Pop-Up Expo?
Definitely. Look, when you are, especially with Pride Pop-Up, it is like I told you that it is an entrepreneurship type of entity.
Yes.
And we, as a business person, you want to target corporates, you understand? You see that South Africa, I'd like to make an example of South Africa because a lot of franchise companies, you know, they're from there and
Yes.
stuff like that. So as a business person, it's really hard, even in the corporate sector, just to get funding, you know, just to get recognized, just to say, hey, come set up your banner here. Because mind you, you know, I'm gay, but then my ATM, I bank in your
Yes,
bank. You get what I mean?
yes.
I work in that corporate company.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really slowly starting to, you know, we need to understand that we want to capture the corporate sector to say our lives, there are people in your company that work for you that are also part of the LGBTQ community. So it's really, really sometimes really hard and public backlash is always going to be there, especially in a country where our rights are not recognized. But it's really, really important, especially as a female business person, to stand your ground, to say, I will be there, especially when the fight is not amongst the community, but, you know, we want to stand tall in solidarity. Pardon me. So it's really, really hard, you know, getting funding and getting the corporate sector to come in. But, you know, with or without, we are going to try and strive.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's basically the objective and, you know, the goal that we want to push to say, you know, we want your support, yes, but if you decline us, we are still going to move forward, you know.
Yeah.
So we want to see some change. Look, Nedbank South Africa last year really literally changed their logo for the whole month of June. Just to show solidarity, to show support, to say, yes, you still bank in our bank and we accept you, you know. So it's really going to take a long time, like we said, but as a business executive side, public backlash will always be there.
Yeah.
Do you feel Namibians are in denial that, you know, queer people exist among us and that they're also just people who use the same services as us? So do you think Namibians are like, the reason why they don't sort of like want to support is because they're in denial of the fact that queer people exist in Namibia?
Yeah, I think it's ignorance as well.
Yes, ignorance.
I think it's ignorance as well. I feel, you know, because, you know, you look at it and you're like, your family member, one of them, you get what I mean?
Definitely someone in between there that's not telling
I think
the
it's a
truth.
lot of ignorance. And also, I was having a discussion of set with Cherlien here that Namibia is really, we are really just a small population.
Yes.
You get what I mean? And it's really getting there we follow these trends, and then when the trends are done, then, oh, what else is there to follow from, you know, the wedding of the year to what, to, you know, get what I mean? And it's about creating a platform to say, get the influencers involved, get the allies involved, and then this will actually change the mindset of Namibian people. Because what they do is they really follow trends, because we are still, it's a long way to get there, to just find our uniqueness as a Namibian country. You know, we're still trying to, especially even in the entertainment sector, especially from my choreography side of thing, or dancing side of thing, you find a lot of dancers like, I'm a piano dancer. I'm like, what is I'm a piano dancer? What is you as a Namibian child? You know, what is your uniqueness? So it really goes around with all these trends that people follow. But sooner or later, you need to realize that the LGBTQ is not a trend.
Yes.
It is human life. It is how people identify as, and this is, you know, so it goes on and on. So I think that's about it.
Have you had any issues being gay in Namibia?
Yeah, the issues are there. I mean, this is an everyday thing. You get up every day. Like for the expo, we have a lot of people DMing us and saying, do you have any health facilities where we could come and just talk to people, and you know, who do I talk to? I'm really going through a lot, and you know, the people DMing us and say, I don't have accommodation. I was just kicked out, and you know, when you get all these different messages from people all around the world, in Namibia, per se, sorry. it's like, what am I going to do with these people? It's like literally it's just one company, guys. I don't have a house, I don't have a what. But it really helps us a lot to get to, you know, it motivates us to say there are people out there that are supporting the movement. So the issues are going to be there. You will get up every day, and you know, for a female it's better, but imagine a trans man, a trans woman, you know, all these critics that you go out there and then they're looking at you, you know, the words that they give. So it's really hard every day getting up as an LGBTQ persons in this country. Already you need to have like the biggest, you know, confidence as a whole. But a lot of people, especially mental health awareness, it's really becoming a real issue in the LGBTQ community. And we wish that we could have so much funding to really help people that are going through mental illness. It's really such a big sensitive topic when it comes to the LGBTQ community.
Yeah, do you think that will ever change? Do you think that we'll ever get to a point where we can have these fundings and we can have these services available to the LGBTQ community in Namibia? Do you think there's like light at the end of the tunnel?
Yeah, it is. Look, there is quite a lot of corporates, not some corporates that really want to be in support. But like we say, because of the rights that are not recognized, you know, equal rights are not recognized, they feel like, oh, because of our policies and because of our laws, and, you know, but I think it starts with just involving international organizations, because even if Namibia as a whole doesn't want to support, the world is big. The world is our oyster, you know. So if they see that other organizations from other countries, other corporate companies from other countries are coming through, then hey, let's do this. Like I said, with or without you, we are here to stay.
Yes, I love that. Cherlien and Hillary, you are both huge advocates for Namibia. Do you ever see yourself living elsewhere?
Definitely not.
Okay.
I mean, firstly, yes, I love to travel. I've been to so many countries, but I mean, like the people, like the culture, it's just completely different. And I think my husband also fell in love so much with the country that he literally, I think, if he can do everything from here, he's not gonna move. Because I remember we were in Europe, like 3 weeks back or like a month ago, and he's like, and it was a bit cold, and he's like, oh, it's so cold, I want to go home. I'm like, dude, you are home. What do you mean you want to go home? So for now, definitely not. I mean, at some point, maybe when we make it to Hollywood, or so it might just be better to be that side of the world. But for now, definitely not.
I think there's this saying and trending that says that in the entertainment industry, we are working so hard in a country that doesn't even see us, you know, in a wrong. It's like we're working so hard in a wrong country, and a lot of people are like, Hillary, just go, just travel, go. You can get so many opportunities.
You get what I mean? Country, and then it literally just stays small.
It just stays there, you know. And already the entertainment world is so small. We've got a long way to go. So I feel like also Namibia is such a beautiful country.
It is
beautiful.
We've seen other countries, but this landscape, first of all, the beautiful women.
The beautiful women.
So let's start there. So I think that I would maybe perhaps, like you said, but I think I wouldn't want to move.
I want to go. I want to go. I want to go. I think mainly just because, like you said, I'm an international model. So to get work, I have to move to another. I have to always move to other countries where this is available. Unless the industry really grows and makes space for, like, yet again, seeing modeling as a job, then probably I'll come back. But home is, I will always come back home. But to live here, I don't know. Honestly, I will go.
It's not that bad.
No, I'll come back, but I want to go.
Okay.
Yes. Cherlien, as Africa as a continent, seems to be taken more seriously these days as a place for film. Is that good for you as a Namibian filmmaker?
Yes. Definitely. I mean, especially in this country, like she said, the industry is so small, and of course everyone, I mean, we have like 5 female, like, I don't know, maybe 10 female filmmakers. So of course, I mean, the who does not need a little bit of attention to kind of make it out to an Africa, and then probably from Africa you can literally move into international, because I mean you just also it's not possible just to go from Africa and then just to international waters, but I mean yes, definitely.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Cherlien, what's the current project that you're working on?
God.
Oh,
A lot.
a lot.
I asked that question earlier. I'm like, so what are we working on?
Yes.
I get excited. I mean, oh, wow.
I mean, I don't know if I can talk about them, but there's a couple of projects that, of course, my husband is co-writing with Dino or with Girly, where I'm literally trying to find funding, which is always a problem. So funding is always the problem. I mean, there's a lot of stories to tell. We have so much stories to tell, and I think Flo has probably so in his office he has like a closet for films that are done, and then like another one for stories that needs to be, and it's about like 10 stories that there is literally stories to tell, but it's just funding. So currently I'm in the works for 2. We might just have to work on one in Zimbabwe if everything works out, and then one then at the end of the year. I mean, or with next year with Girly. Yes.
Amazing. Okay. Do you think you have to work harder to be taken seriously in the industry as a Black woman?
Yes. I don't know per se as a Black woman, but I mean, since Namibia is relatively majority is Black population, not necessarily Black women is like a thing, but as a woman, yes.
As a woman,
yes.
yes.
I mean, I go to meetings, and like I said, as a producer, I literally have meetings with men where I walk into the room and I'm like, give you your money, and then you just literally see the stares and you're like, are you sure? I should give you the money. Where's the guy? Where's the co-producer? So I think they sometimes feel more comfortable when there's a men involved in the story to give a lot of money, because generally we're always looking for more than $2-3 million, and then you walk in and they're like,
raising a brow.
Yes, exactly.
Hillary, same question.
Yeah, I think not even twice as hard, 3-4 times as hard. You need to stand your ground. When you enter a room, you need to demand respect as a woman in entertainment or business, because this is the only way. It has been ongoing. You go the feminists and the 50-50. It's not that. It's just that we can still do the same work, the same job that men do, but it's just that as a woman,
better sometimes.
Definitely. So I think as a woman, you really, really, really need to just stand firm and stand your ground.
Yes,
and just have confidence in whatever it is that you do. Just have confidence, because this world is really tough and toxic. When you go out there as a woman, just know what you want and go for it.
And just to add to that, have your ducks in a row, because as soon as as she said, you walk into a room, I mean, I am so used to that now. When I walk into a room, I literally walk. So you can see me, I'm here, I've arrived. And I want your money. This is what I want to do with it. Literally. Are you in or not? Literally, I think other than that, they will try to make you feel a bit intimidated, make you feel little. And then so are you sure you can handle this type of money? Things like that. So it's literally, just be confident in yourself, and then,
Why do you think men think like that? That women are not good enough to get that 12 million, or that, just taking up that space and being like, we don't even have to question. We know what she can do.
I mean, a lot of men feel women should be in the kitchen and having kids. So that is most of the reason. I mean, I meet a lot of men I run into, of course, as a producer and also as a business owner, and also just a normal young, a beautiful woman that owns a lot. You literally run into men where they just but how do you have that much? Or so you're married, so you don't have kids yet. Aren't you supposed to be at home cooking or trying to have kids? So they don't see women as, I don't know, business women, individuals that can actually run companies, and even better than them, because remember, we run households, we run kids, businesses, literally everything at once, and we still have to do so many other things. So we can multitask in so many ways, men can't. But I think it also comes from a cultural sense where men, women should be in the kitchen and having families, and women were never really seen as intellectuals, to say that.
Yeah, and I think the mindset is for them is we want to take over.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't want to
Yes.
take over.
Like, we just also want
We
to
just
be
want
present.
to be present. We want to be
Yes.
in the moment. We
Yeah.
want to be able to say, yes, I can drive that truck. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
I can carry that camera equipment
Yes.
and you know, I can get on production and do
Definitely,
it, you know.
yeah.
I can get on that stage and dance until I'm 40 years old.
Yes.
You know, not that, oh, when are you quitting? What do you mean? When am I
Like, and-
quitting? You know, aren't you tired of dancing? What do
And
you mean?
having
Am
kids.
you get what I
Wow.
mean?
People
I'm
actually
strong
say
enough to
things like
beg.
that.
Imagine, I'm
Yeah.
strong enough to bear kids and still get back on stage. You
Yeah.
get what I mean? But it's just this whole thing of, especially with female dancers, you know, there's this whole critique as you grow, you know, older to say, don't you just want to like, you know, ease off a bit and, you know, no, I can broaden up myself. I can say from a dancer, I moved into choreography.
Yeah.
I can literally be on stage choreographing, you know, but it's a thing of, no, we want to take up space. We want to, no, we don't want to take up, we just
No.
want a seat
Yeah.
on the table.
Exactly.
Literally.
Like, and to be heard.
Yeah.
To be heard, because I mean, they say they listen, but are you hearing what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like I've had the opposite experience. Like I've been getting so much, like men encouraging me, but I've been getting so many women just like discouraging me and constantly telling me to make myself feel smaller because I
All
will
the
be
time.
intimidating
Yeah.
the others that are upcoming. But I'm
the
like,
time.
why is that such a pattern?
I
Yeah.
think it's also like culture-wise, where women feel like, okay, because I mean, I am this year, I'm gonna be 12 years married. And
Ooh.
I am not a normal wife. Like you would never really like see me do the normal wife things, like where people
Yeah.
wear like the same outfits to weddings. I'm just like, nope.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. Like I want to wear what I want to
Yes.
wear.
Yeah.
So I have this thing where women just feel intimidated by that. They just
Yeah.
feel, yeah, but don't you think you should be now coming down from work? You're always so busy, and maybe starting a family. Like, and it's true. I mean, I have more men that are also in that
Yeah.
sense, like they're supportive, but women feel just like
You're doing too
And
much.
I don't know why that is. I think it's something that I've also picked up to say, why is other women tearing other women down?
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be like that. We're supposed to, you know, to
Build it
empower
up.
each other. We're supposed to build each other. And, you know, you're going to experience, you know, 10 years from now, you know, someone's going to tell you, yo, Chelsea, don't you think you have to pave way for,
Exactly. Yes.
for fresh models, you know,
Yes.
younger? No, there's space for everyone.
Everyone, yes.
Yeah, but I feel like it's just a thing of like maybe that feeling of like they feel less
Yeah.
self-confidence.
I was
like,
gonna say
why, I
that.
can't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So instead of me telling you go ahead, I'll
Yeah.
just tell you, but you can't do that. It's like
Yeah.
their inner voice is speaking towards
Yes,
you
exactly.
rather than them
Yeah.
speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like should we create spaces like if somebody's complimenting me, I should also be like, you
Yeah.
should also do this. You should
Yes,
go for what
exactly.
you want.
Yeah.
I guess that's probably the only way we can build each other as women because there will never be a space where
Yeah.
society
Yeah.
will support
Exactly.
women.
Yeah.
And from my side, I mean, it's literally a thing of where I guess it comes from, they also want to be free in the sense, like me, like you're married, but you do
courage
what
to
you
be
want to
free.
do. You own your own thing. You
Yeah.
literally don't have to ask your husband if you need to go buy a shoe for like, I don't know, like $1,000.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I guess it also comes from not jealousy, but wanting that too, but not in a
Yeah.
space where they can actually stand for themselves, to be able to say that to their spouses, where they need that space
Yeah.
to
And not
create
even
what they
only
need to.
spouses. I feel like every woman
Yeah.
deserves sisterhood.
Yes.
I feel like the only way you feel like you want to trash down another woman is because you don't have sisterhood.
Yes,
You know, you
definitely.
need to develop sisterhood. You know, friends that are there to support you, to build with you. I have a group of 5 friends. One is a musician, an artist. One has an 8 to 5 job. The other one is a chef, and me as a dancer, filmmaker. So now the 8 to 5 job friend says, okay, since all of you guys are into creatives, I was thinking I will do mask, and then I also want to be part of this, so that, you know, and then I can sell them, and then we can also, you know, it's to build one another
Yes,
up.
definitely.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So sisterhood is really, really important because it will help you build your confidence. It will help you, you know, just chase your dreams, and knowing that you have a group of girls following you and really supporting you. I think this is one thing that I need to emphasize that.
Yeah.
Sisterhood is really, really important because we all need that sister that's going to be there. Because you can't do this that journey can't be just you alone.
Exactly.
You need that strong sisterhood just to fight for you.
You also need to want to be in a sisterhood.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I really, it's so difficult for me to never always think about, like, is this person being my friend because they know of what I can do to their lives, or do they genuinely like me as a person?
Yes.
That's the other
Do
thing.
they genuinely want to be my friend? And I constantly felt that when I was at Miss Universe, because it's like they are always on show, like on par, because there's always a camera in front of us.
Yes.
But then I was like, were there actually really ever moments that that we were really a
genuine.
sisterhood?
Yeah.
But
it
I
was
think
genuine,
the only time I experienced that was with one girl, Miss Croatia. She's like 20 years old. Her name is Aura, and we became instantly friends because we could see through all the cracks, you know. And we were just like, we genuinely just want to be the people that we genuinely are when we're at home. Because here it's like everybody's just constantly trying to be on
Better
par,
than the next
but it's
person
like
as
they're
well.
not genuinely being themselves. So it was very difficult. And I think also women being in a space for too long together, it sort of becomes this thing of like, okay, I just have to outshine, because society thinks like you are all women, but never like you are an individual. So constantly having to show up, which is not a bad thing, but it's like, when are you ever really happy with what you're doing? And I hope, it's something that we really can, as women, really build that sisterhood of like, you know
support
what?
each other.
Let's just support each other, even if we don't know each other. As a woman, I will
Go like,
support
woo.
you. And just like create
Cheer
that
for each
space.
other,
If you guys need
Definitely,
something from me, I'm available. I'm keen. Let's work.
and
If you
find
guys,
that spark,
you know, let's do that. That's it for this episode of Chelsi Shikongo Talks. We will be back with part 2, where we will talk more to Cherlien Schott and Hillary Shiimi about women in entertainment and the challenges facing women in the industry.